Get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Welcome back. Happy holidays, everybody. Know everybody ate good. You know what I'm saying? We back with another episode of Good If It Goes Jam. I'm here with my boy DJ, aka the So Icy Boy.
Come
He
on,
got
man.
the AirPod 4s in. I just got the ones, you know what I'm saying? These the dollar stores too. You see how big they is, you know what I'm saying? But it's all good though. What you on though, DJ? How was your holiday, man? How was Thanksgiving and shit?
Yeah, it was decent, man. It was real chill. Not too much going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
How
what's
about
up.
yours?
Man, I was
I
turned.
know, I know, I know. Yours is lit. Never mind. I already know.
Yeah, I was
Yours is
turned. I
lit.
was turned. I ain't gonna tell. I was turned. Went to the Duke game, even though they lost last night. Shout out to the Duke Blue Devils for getting that W against Gonzaga. You feel me? Like that shit was lit, man. So got to say goodbye to Coach K. You know what I'm saying? His last season and whatnot. So, uh, but yeah, man. Episode 12. You know what I'm saying?
you,
I
you
feel
was
like
you were talking about me. You was on a worldwide trip, and I was in the crib,
what
man.
worldwide. I was in Vegas. Oh, you must say that
Same.
because they got New York, and Paris across the street from each other, huh? And Caesar's
Yeah.
Palace. Ain't that a bitch? All right, I see
Yeah.
what you on. Don't worry about it. I'm on that too. Cause you on it. I got you. But yeah, man. So episode 12. You know, most shows, most like TV shows, they go like 10, 12, 15 episodes. So I think we like coming up like on the end of the first season of Good If It Goes Jam. I think that's what we gonna kind of. I think we gonna do that. We gonna, you know what I'm saying. We gonna
Oh
go
yeah.
like what you think, like 15 episodes. When we get the Christmas episode, that'll be the last one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then we
Yeah. That's
start
in a couple of
season
weeks.
two.
Yeah.
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 Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That'll
this
be
season
good.
one. Yeah, this is we coming to the end of season one. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking like a damn GTA character right now, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? Wipe that camera down or something. I don't know what's going on in this motherfucker. But yeah, man. So y'all know how we do on this show. Three categories. Starting with number one. So today we're not gonna say is he good? We're gonna say are they good? So the Phoenix Suns. Now I know y'all saying, well, they was in the finals last year, but y'all know these last like year and a half. You know, we had three NBA seasons in like 2 years. Cause like the bubble championship was like 14 months ago, not even. So like we had a lot of basketball going on in a small amount of time. We had a lot of injuries, a lot of people sitting out, all that. So I'm gonna ask DJ, are the Phoenix Suns, are they good?
Yeah, like you don't even if you playing bums, like you just don't win like 17 games in a row, without like messing up like here and there, taking a night off or we didn't have our best. They started off slow, like 1-3, 1-3, but then they won their next 17 games. So that's like crazy. They well coached, they defend, they got guys off the bench. They went all the way to the finals last year, so you're not worried about none of their young guys being scared to shoot, being scared to play, making clutch shots. So any close games that they get in, they didn't been in a bunch of them, and they made that finals run. So like when people talking about all these teams that's gonna be there at the end until this streak, they wasn't really talking about the Suns. Like they were talking about other teams. They was like, oh yeah, Golden State this, and when the Lakers get healthy, that, and this, that, and the third. But like I did not hear too many people talking about the Suns, the reigning Western Conference Finals champions. And I was like, well, you still got to beat the people that play in front of you, whether they injured, whether they got COVID, whether they this or that. And some of the other teams, they been really inconsistent, either due to injuries or due to like players been out, or they just haven't played good or haven't gelled. Like a team like the Nuggets, they second leading scorer, Michael Porter Jr., he not gonna play this season. Don't know when Jamal Murray is coming back. So like how tough would a team like that be? Um, LeBron just out again for the Lakers for the next 10 days. And even when he was there, they didn't play like the Pistons and the Kings in the past 4 games, and they like split them games or something. And so like they still struggle with those type of teams. And really like out west, I don't know. Like I'm not really seeing like another team right now. And we a quarter way through the season, so this is a nice sample size. So it's not like, yeah, teams is only played a couple of games. No, teams that played 21, 22, 23 games. And so now is where like the habits start to form. And who you are as a team that that is made like in these first like I'll say like 25 games, and then going forward, you get better at it. And the thing with the Suns is that yeah, you got them pieces they got put together, but last year they had a full season with that. So now this year version of them, I think is going to be better because of everything that happened last year. And so yeah, I think they're a good team, and I think more people will start talking about them. Devin Booker just got hurt yesterday, hamstring injury, and every player this year they didn't say a hamstring injury. They'd be like, yeah, he gonna be out a couple games. Them dudes be missing like 2 weeks, and you miss 2 weeks in the NBA, man, that might be 8 games. Yo, and then your team could lose all 8 games or something. So like, yeah, just check on that. But yeah, overall, man, they're a good team. I think they gotta just like feature Aiden more. They gotta use him like they used him last night, and he gotta show that aggression too. Like, all right, like not too many people can guard me. I'm about to go to work, and so I think they're gonna have to switch up some stuff with Booker is out. But if they can like stay afloat when he out, they'll be just fine. And especially because they got a big lead too. Like it's really them and Golden State only lost 3 games. Everybody else lost what like ten games or something. And so they got a pretty big lead. But yeah, they're a good team.
Yeah, I think they good. I don't know how good they are. And you spoke on a lot of the teams like having injuries or players out or just not gelling. So I don't know if it's just that the Suns are just that good or the rest of the West that bad. And it's like 5, 6 teams under them that's like a game or two like above 500 barely or a game under 500. So it's one of them situations where you can start out the weekend like fourth and then lose 2 games, you drop down like 10th. But the numbers are there. This isn't like the first 5 games of the season where everybody was panicking. This is, like you said, a quarter of the way through. And I don't know, man. I think the Suns have that formula, the system, good coaching. Monty Williams is a good coach. Um, best three player, like they have like a legit big three. Their role players are like it's not just guys anymore. Like they got like serious role players as well. Um, and I mean, convincing win over the Warriors yesterday. So I know that was a big matchup. And the
Mhm.
Suns were favored in that game too. They were 3 point or 3.5 point favorites. And I actually wanted to take the Suns. So
Yeah,
um,
I would have took them at home too. They've been rolling, and then they've been
yeah,
at home, and they got a nice crowd too. As far as like their home court advantage, they got a really decent crowd. I'm not saying it's like on like Golden State level, but as far as them being a good team with a good home crowd, like yeah, they there, and so like um yeah, like it's gonna be interesting to see how they do without Devin Booker. I'm not gonna put too much stock into all of the games that he missed. I'm just wait till he come back and play, and then we'll like be able to see, as they move forward throughout the season because like they won, all these games in a row, and that's not no fluke. Usually teams that go on those like long winning streaks, usually they go far in the playoffs, and so I think it's a combination of both though. Like I think they good, and I think the West is not as good because certain teams, certain habits, certain tendencies. Like I don't see them going nowhere. Like I don't see the Lakers getting younger. I don't see like certain teams like Denver. They not gonna get Michael Porter Jr. back. Like yeah, and we don't know when Murray is coming back. I haven't heard not one Jamal Murray story. So we don't know that the Clippers without Kawhi, like they not having a real good season. The Lakers already said them they was old. Like the Jazz, they still the Jazz. They a good team, but like they still the Jazz. So when they gonna not be the Jazz, I don't know. Portland not gelling. They been up and down, and so like yeah, like I really don't know. I don't think the West is as good. And the Jazz do got a bunch of players, and they're a good team. But I mean, when that playoff bug come, like they the Jazz, dog. Like you gotta just like treat them like Yeah, they just the Jazz, dog. Because all these other teams that made it to the Western Conference Finals that we did not think so, like, or made like real deep runs, except for the Jazz. The Nuggets got there, the Clippers got there, the Suns got there, but we still waiting for the Jazz. Like the Jazz mess around and win 60 games in the regular season and get bounced in the first round, or lose to a team that they shouldn't lose in the second round or something like that. But they haven't really got over the hump, so I kind of put them over there. I know they're a good team, but yeah, it's the Jazz, dog. Like so, like really, yeah, I think it's a combination of both though. I think the Suns is good, and to go that deep with a new team, guys in new roles, and a new coach, all that stuff. To go that deep like last year is, I mean, that's great. Now it's even better because now you know what to do. Last year they were trying to still figure some stuff out, and as they was figuring it out, they made it to the finals. So now this year, it's all about like, all right, so now we know what to do. So now the expectations is like, all right, y'all gonna be good. Like last year, they was like, all right, can they beat the Lakers in the first round, or can they beat this team? Like we was always asking. Now, I mean, I feel like that we expect them to be there now. Like why not? Because they got the same team, and clearly they are playing like just as well. So yeah,
Um, all I want to know is why the Utah Jazz hate.
man, get them out of here and like let's lose. Rudy Gobert, start with him. And although he been killing this year, like he been going crazy, but it's the Jazz, so ain't nobody really paying no attention. He'll be crying in the playoffs when they got him on ISO and he can't guard nobody. So like they be doing the same thing every year, run it up, and then in the playoffs they get out coached and outplayed, and then they be sitting at home. But my hate with them starts back way long because I hate Carl Malone um, for obvious reasons and even more other reasons. And then when they got Rudy Gobert, like he mad annoying, and so free Donovan Mitchell because he cool. Yeah, my boy Jordan Clarkson be doing his thing, even though
The boy.
the yeah, I like I like guys that come off the bench and just gun like that'd be cool. They could fill it up unconscious, get
He
buckets.
been he been low key getting off like his whole career. If you go look at his numbers, and it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, the
um,
Lakers, man, all them Lakers young dudes, man. I don't know what it is about LA. I mean, I know what it is. They're not into developing young players at all. It's like we need you here for a trade bait, or you need to be a piece for this championship. But then, like when them stars don't pan out, or when they get hurt or get injured, Lakers be salty because they don't ever develop nobody else, and so they go through
and
them little spells.
it's crazy if you think about it. The last player that they like drafted, and they didn't even draft him, they just developed him, was Kobe, like star.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's been like
yeah.
25 fucking years since they've even like developed a star.
Yeah, and
And
that was
I
like
never
a
even
that
thought
was
about it like that.
yeah, that was like a handpicked thing. Like
Right? They
they
knew.
yeah, they
Jerry
knew.
West knew.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and
Jerry
so
West
like
knew.
and then plus his dad played in the league too,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But like they didn't have high draft picks, but you're not gonna be on this team for longer than 3 years if we can get a
Right.
star. And so like
Right.
yeah, that's not a thing that they do. And so if you look around the league, you look at guys that they had, their young core, all of those guys is starting in the league. Some of them guys got all stars. Some of them guys gonna be making deep playoff runs this
Mm.
year. But yeah, that's not what they do. That's not them. And you figure like, hey, we get Brian and AD, we get a title. Our fans is good for the next X number of years. So they already won. So anything else after that is money. All they
It's
gonna
just
do
a
is blow it
bummer.
up. Yeah,
They
and
better
I
hope the
mean,
Clippers don't win.
I mean,
They
yeah,
better hope. That's like the whole just when they thought they were getting all them guys and they end up going to LA. I mean, going to the Clippers and shit. But that's crazy though, man. LA been like that shit forever. They've always gotten huge
yeah.
acquisitions, old ass niggas that ain't really on nothing but like their
And
name,
before Kobe, it was probably Magic.
magic. And again,
Yeah,
that's like
that's
that's
like that's
and
a
you
no
already
brainer.
and you already had Kareem
Kareem, yeah, because you
and
brought him
all the
on.
other guys, and then you went and
Yeah,
got James
that's
Worthy.
worthy. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, yeah, like you go like they got that generational guy, but like once Bron done, AD not that guy.
AD.
AD not that guy, bro. Like this run without Bron show you like that's why they like in 10th or 12th place because like even with Russ, like the stats be empty. It don't impact winning. And then AD, he be flexing his chest, but bro, y'all just struggle with the Kings. Like I hate watching him like flex his chest and do all that because like it's the Kings, it's the Pistons, it's all these teams. But it's like if you was that guy, like they call you a top 5 player, right? And so
75 player.
Oh yeah, and a top 75 player too.
But
so
Dwight Howard isn't.
Yeah, and Dwight Howard has done Dwight Howard has done more. AD has just been AD has been in better situations. So Dwight Howard carried a team. Like he impacted more winning than AD has. And so like if they call you a top 5 player in this league, it's no way y'all should be that terrible when Bron not there. It's no way. Like and so
that's because he's not top 5.
Yeah,
all the guys that's really top 5, they teams are up there.
And then even when people want to talk about like Kawhi or whatever, like, but you put them on that Lakers team and Bron not there, switch them out with AD. They're not going 3-7 in 10 games without Bron. Like that's not happening because he's going to impact the game or do something or put him on his shoulder one day and be like, all right, we gonna stop the bleeding or whatever. And Russ just kind of just out there figuring it out. But yeah, like, yeah, we kind of got off topic, but yeah.
It's all good. We jamming, baby. All right, so we're going to Wild to Hate. So this came up on, I think 2 weeks ago on the podcast. We were talking about the Bulls teams. What were we saying? Like, is those Bulls teams better than these? I think Shane might have said these teams, this is like the best team since Jordan or something. And we're like, okay, maybe Rose is Bulls. And somebody said that Derrick Rose did not have a score, like a 20-point score on the side of him. I was offended. And DJ was like, hey, no, he wasn't that. And I said he was. So this is going to be an interesting segment because this shit been brewing for 2 weeks. And I already know how DJ coming because he going to act like he don't had it. But I got to ask you, DJ. Damn. And mind you, this man just got paid by the Lakers again this season. Ain't fucking touched the basketball. You only see him all day at Joakim Noah night. So good. Too easy.
So good. Too easy.
What I want to know is, DJ, damn, why the Luol Deng hate?
First, I told you, like, this should not even be no topic. I don't hate Luol Deng, like not at all. Like the Bulls almost killed him with that spinal tap. Like that dude was playing 53 minutes a game every game. He never came out. He always had to guard the toughest guys. He had to like try to create offense and play defense at the same time. My whole point was that the Bulls needed another individual, I can create my own shot type of guy when they played the Heat because Derrick Rose, one, he a point guard and he not like 6'6". So a lot of times what will happen is they'll trap him and he can't see over Bron and Wade because of his height. It's easier to trap a guy that's smaller than a guy that's bigger. If Derrick Rose was like Lonzo Ball height, you're not just going to, hey, let's go trap him because now I could see pass boom. So like if Luol Deng was, that individual like go-to scorer type of player, even a secondary, scorer, then they wouldn't be able to trap Rose and try to get the ball out his ends. Like you couldn't do that for that Heat team because, I mean, Wade is a Hall of Famer. I ain't even saying Dang had to be a Hall of Famer. He just needed to be a guy that can create his own shot and get you a bucket when needed. Now, will he do everything else like well? Absolutely. And then he was great on defense, but the creating his own shot, that wasn't his strong suit. And it wasn't what the Bulls asked him to do. He'll get his 18 within the flow of a game, but you're not doing a Luol Deng clearouts. And the Bulls needed somebody else to operate underneath, all right, give me the ball, I'm going to get a bucket. If they would have got Melo one of those years, they would have been fine because you keep everybody that you got, and now you cannot zero in on our point guard because we have another like top 10 scorer of all time that can give me a bucket. Like, and so that wasn't Luol Deng calling card. He did everything else. And so he was a two-time All-Star and pretty much the heart and soul of that team, him and Noah, but like they needed another shot creator because every time them games got close, you can see what Spoelstra was calling. Hey, go blitz Rose, go blitz Rose. And every time he had to get a ball up. And I mean, if you giving the ball up to Carmelo Anthony, that's different than you giving the ball up to Luol Deng. Or if you Wade and you giving the ball up to Bron, that's versus, that's different than you giving the ball up to Luol Deng. And so like, I don't hate him at all. Like one of my favorite Bulls players, like Bulls almost killed that nigga. So definitely don't hate Luol Deng. I just said that he wasn't the shot creator and that got exploited every time they played the Heat in the playoffs. Or one of those other great teams that they played in that baby Bulls run. So like, I mean the Rose Bulls run, because not the baby Bulls, that was earlier. But yeah, I don't hate him. He averaged like 18. But he'd get his 18 through the flow of the game. It wasn't like I'm about to just go and get buckets. They only had one guy that can do that, and then that was Rose. They didn't even have nobody off the bench that can go and get their bucket. Now, if they would have had a dude like a Ben Gordon, Ben Gordon created his own shot.
And so they did though. It just wasn't consistent because they had like a Nate Robinson come in, do his thing.
But
your boy John Lucas to come in. But like you said, it's point guards though. It's point guards. It's not wings. You know how I feel about them wing scores.
Yeah, it wasn't wings, and they wouldn't have these guys at the same time. So like when Nate Robinson was playing, it was because Rose got hurt. When John Lucas was playing, it was because somebody else got hurt, and so it wasn't like consistent. Like I need you to go get me a bucket, and then Jimmy Butler didn't get to be Jimmy Butler until Rose was like not at his powers, and then he was getting ready to get traded. So if Jimmy Butler was, now Jimmy Butler, that whole series different because you got a prime Rose, a prime Noah, prime Dang, and a prime Jimmy Butler going against that Miami Big Three. Now, will you beat Bron? I don't know, but do you make that series 6-7 games and you get them all that they can handle? Absolutely, but I would take my chances with that Bulls 4 though. And so that's all I was saying.
I don't know, man. I heard some hate. It's all good though.
No, you didn't. No, you did it.
All right, we're gonna move on, man. Last segment of the day. Get them out of here. We just gonna combine both of these motherfuckers because, I mean, neither one of them won shit like while they were where they was at. I say ND definitely had more humiliating losses than OU did for sure, but OU had like 3 Heisman quarterbacks like down there back to back or something like that. So I don't know. It was supposed to have another one this year, and that motherfucker didn't even finish the season on the team. So today we getting Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly out of here. DJ, take it away.
So I just seen Brian Kelly interview, and he was talking, but it was like he was just talking like. And it was a reason for this segment because he was just like talking in like circles. He was kind of pandering and just kind of like talking in circles. Typical Brian Kelly stuff. But now it's like, all right, we need you to answer like point blank. And him going down to LSU told me one thing is that he didn't believe in his team. Like you never see where a coach is getting ready to play in a championship or possibly play in a championship or have the chance to be like, no, I'm good on this. I'm about to go somewhere else. And so what that told me was that he can't compete with getting guys in the Midwest to come to his school. They all go to Ohio State. They all go to Michigan. They all go to wherever but they don't go to Notre Dame because if you did, you wouldn't be getting blown out every time y'all actually make it to the Final Four or y'all get in a championship situation. And so that told me is that like he can't compete. And a good point is that the last couple of coaches that was at LSU all won rings. And so to complete his career, he gonna need a ring. And so you got Ed, Les, Saban, all won rings there. So he saw that and was like, all right, within the next X number of years, I can win a ring because all these dudes won a ring. And
Yeah,
the
that's a
thing
good
with
point. That's a good point.
yeah, and the thing with LSU is that like, bruh, Ed just won that ring and they got rid of him after a bad season. So like they patience for it down there, it's short. Like they gonna love you as long as the team is good, but like they got enough money where they can pay you to go away, obviously. He gotta keep that talent in state. And so he banking on that he can. But you couldn't get none of the Midwest talent. And so you telling me right now that your team is not good enough because why? Because why leave? And so money aside, all that because all the schools, all the top, I'll say the top Power Five schools, they can all offer everybody the same amount of money. Like it's a booster, it's somebody that can, give them the bread. Mel Tucker just got 95 million from Michigan State for this season, right? So like the money, that's not it. But that just told me that, man, like he don't believe in his team. He don't believe that he can compete in the Midwest to get guys to be good at a school like Notre Dame that's supposed to be, historical football program, blah blah blah. But bro, this ain't 91 or whenever they won. Lou Holtz ain't walking through that door. Like, ain't no Heisman guys. They're not getting that talent. And so yeah, that's all that told me was that I can compete better at LSU, and now you gonna how to deal with that SEC monster along with Oklahoma and Texas coming in a couple of years or whenever they come too. So it's gonna get tougher. But he banking on himself, which is fine. But it's just that just told me that he can't get the guys. Like he can't get the guys that he need to get. And I don't just think all of a sudden all them guys is just gonna want to just go to LSU.
Right.
And so that's him. Lincoln Riley, get him out of here too. Only thing I don't blame him for is would you rather like live and be rich in Oklahoma or LA? Like, all right, I'm going too. But his thing is more different because he was scared of the SEC. He didn't want to go there because you the big man of the Big 12. And so your team gonna be that team every year. Now y'all gotta go to this conference where you gotta like coach, like you gotta put in that work, like you gotta scout better, you gotta recruit better, you gotta do all these things better now because you're not just playing against these run and gun teams that's gonna, allow you to do what you want to do. So he was scared because Oklahoma football is just on the same level as USC football. Oklahoma football is probably historically got a longer history of whatever, right? And so like he was scared of that SEC. He was scared of that SEC monster. And he gonna go to USC and he gonna probably bring all the guys that was supposed to go to Oklahoma with him, and we'll see like in a couple of years. But then he basically gonna create the same type of situation. Let me beat up on these teams in the Pac-12 like I did in the Big 12, and then when it's time to compete against these other teams, fall fall short. But now I get to like fall short in LA versus falling short in Norman, Oklahoma. So like, all right, it's different. Plus the bag don't hurt and everything else. So he just gonna do that same thing in USC. I don't know if they're gonna win because it's either you either coming out the Midwest or the South. I don't know the last time we had another one of these teams that wasn't from one of those places win something. It's been some years. And so good luck. He gonna create the USC running gun and create some guys, send them to the league, and then still don't win nothing because the Pac-12 is trash. Um, yeah, I don't know the last time the Pac-12 was good.
Just
You know,
Oregon.
yeah, yeah, just Oregon consistently, the past like 15 years,
Yeah, and you
and
have to deal
then
with them.
yeah, I mean, he'd rather deal with them than to deal with Bama or Georgia, because that's what's coming. Because he feel like, yeah, I could probably beat them. Like I could probably beat them, but I don't think he thought that his team was gonna be able to, like, he was gonna get the horses to beat the teams in the SEC, and so he ran and did that. Stanford, every so often, like Stanford will, have a good team over the past like couple of years, but really, I mean, that's Oregon, USC, and I don't know, not too many, not nobody else. So it's basically gonna be the same thing that was in the Big 12. Yeah,
Man, college coaches, man, I don't know. You got Saban at the top, and then after that, it's like, the perennials are not perennial and really anymore. So I don't know. They went to go get them big paydays. I don't see a lot of winning happening, so we shall see. It's gonna be interesting to see who replaces them. I know Bob Stoops stepped into the interim role at OU. So like, damn, Bob Stoops coming back.
Stoops
Like,
come
what's
back.
good? Like, what's good?
Man,
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Bob Stoops. I know you watching too. Boom, it's over, baby. Still riding
Bob
with
Stoops,
OU.
Bob Stoops
So,
coming back.
so good.
That's crazy with the visor on,
Yes,
and
sir. So good.
coming through. Cause like, yeah, he was like the coach from there that I actually like grew up watching. I ain't know too much about them, but then I started looking up the history. But like the name that I knew there was Bob Stoops. So yeah, even Lincoln Riley like taking over, after he left or whatever, was like that was like a big deal because right after he sent those guys to the pros, they was talking about Lincoln Riley should just, interview for one of these, head coaching jobs in the NFL. And I was like, man, I don't know. I ain't the biggest proponent of like going from college to the pros. Like I think it's really hard. And like some of that college stuff, I mean, it ain't gonna work in the league because they was talking about, for like the Bears and stuff, should they interview whoever wins from Michigan and Ohio State, whoever win or lose, it don't matter. Interview them both. I was like, nah, they can stay, where they are. Like, we don't need them. We don't need them back. Like, even though Harbaugh did his thing in the league, he was just weird, and they like, booted him. And then, yeah, Ryan Day will be good for Justin Fields, but it's like you got 52 other guys, and so like you can't just say, yeah, we about to just go get this guy for this one, and then you're gonna neglect other things because all that's gonna do is have your offense looking decent, and then your defense giving up all these points, and then you can't win. And so like, yeah, like Lincoln Riley made the right choice by not going to the NFL and let me go to LA and create the Oklahoma version of USC and win all these games, score all these points, and I ain't gonna win. I ain't gonna win nothing. Because even when the time be coming down, like in the past, I'll say like 5, 6 years, any team that wasn't coming from the Big Ten or the SEC, I'm really questioning them. And then really Big Ten, I'm only really looking at Ohio State, SEC. I'm whoever there is gonna be good. Because I remember that year Michigan State was in there and they got dog dog. Anytime Notre Dame is there, I know they getting blown out.
Always.
And so they just can't compete. Like the guys they get in the guys that's not going to Michigan, not going to Ohio State. And so, like, yeah, them leaving, good for them, but I don't know if they winning. But like you said, we will see.
Well, that's it. That's it for episode 12.
Oh yeah,
Got a couple college coaches out of here. DJ still hate Luol Deng, and
I don't.
the Phoenix Suns are good. So that's what we at, y'all. Appreciate y'all jamming with us. Good if it goes podcast running it back tomorrow night. So be there, DJ. Appreciate you jamming with me, bro. As
Appreciate
always.
you, bro.
Yes, sir.